What is going on, guys, and welcome to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. Okay, at the end of this video, I'm going to put a poll that I want all of you guys to answer. I'm going to put, if you're in between levels 1 and 50, mark that. If you're in between levels 51 and 70, mark that. And in between the levels 70 and 85, mark that, so I can figure out where to focus some of my individual videos on. Also, I'm going to put if you are a free-to-play or pay-to-play player, so then I can really help identify what are some of the best things I can go after. Second of all, I get so many requests from all of you guys. It's awesome. I love it. Seriously. That's why I'm working very, very hard to become an EA Game Changer, so I have the ability to get a test account. And here's why. Somebody asked me yesterday, hey, I'm at level 60, and I have a Jin lead with Zeta Ben, Zeta, somebody else. I want to be able to go, okay, let's test, because the question was, how can I better this team? I don't have those characters where you're at, so I really can't fool around with them and figure out what would be best. So that's why getting subscribers is important, so I'm able to get that Game Changer status and then get a test account, because I will spend ridiculous amounts of time answering your guys' questions and putting lineups together. In fact, one of the questions was, could you use Captain Phasma in a lineup with all light side characters? Let's find out. That's the fun of the game. Let's put all these, your favorite characters can go into a party of 5 people together and you can try to kick butt. There are so many team variations out there that you have no idea what could work or what wouldn't work. All of us are satisfied with the meta. I have meta characters. We're winning with the meta. But what are the team variations out there that can get you from level 500 to level 2, or from 500 in Squad Arena to 200 in Squad Arena? Is there a #1 team that nobody knows about in the meta by placing all kinds of characters together? I cannot wait to be able to get that done. So that's why subscribing is important, so I can help you guys out as well. So somebody asked me, I have a Jin lead with Cassian, Chase, which is Baze and Chirrut, and Old Ben Kenobi. What can I do to make that team better? So we're going to take a look at that quick. And all of them are rebels. So we're going to go look at the rebels. Obviously, there's a lot of rebels in this game, and there was a time about 6 months where if they actually dropped another rebel, I was going to throw my phone 500 yards. Okay, I'm glad we got to dark side characters finally. But okay, they stated they had Chase, Jin, Zeta, Old Ben, and Cassian. Now, here is my opinion on this. This is just my opinion. I don't have the ability to test it because this just in. I'm not going to drop $400 just to level up one character right now. Sorry. Unless it was like a new meta character. But, okay. I would use somebody different instead of Cassian. You have the great tank with Baze. You have the great cleanser with Chirrut. Those two characters are still top 20 characters in my opinion, because they're still used in a few teams in the top of Arena, but even when they're not used there, when you get from like 50, from like 500 to 50 in the Squad Arena, they're used all over the place, and they should be. The greatest tank and the greatest cleanser in the game. They deserve that, and they synergize well together. So I like your Jin lead. There's other ones I like better. I really like the Chase. And then you talked about Old Ben. Okay, you have a tank already with Baze. You like Old Ben because of the mind tricks. Double tank teams are fun. I enjoy them. But what would I do to best help you get up to that level of the arena? I would take out Old Ben, okay? Baze and Chirrut synergize together, so you should have them both in there at the same time. I would also take out Cassian. So that means we're left with a Jin, Zeta, Baze, and Chirrut. Now, there is one character I would put in there right away. You don't have Commander Luke Skywalker or R2, I'm assuming. And even if you did, I don't know if I would use them. For, you want some diversity. Ezra Bridger, I could speak hours about how awesome this character is. Not only in the Rebels TV series, which is fantastic, and not only about his storyline, but in the game as a character. He is one of the few characters that gets stronger progressively throughout the battle. And let me show you why. His rushing strike states that deal physical damage to target enemy with a 40% chance to attack again. If Ezra has no debuffs, the chance is doubled. So, 80% chance to attack again, 2 attacks? Yeah, I think so. Then we're going to look at Flourish. This is ability that can be Zetaed, and I did Zeta. Sometimes when you're playing the game, and there's a list of people you should Zeta. Yeah, there's the top 10 Zetas. I make videos on that. But I love Ezra Bridger, so I'm going to Zeta the character because I want to. And sometimes just wanting to is what matters. Deal physical damage, target enemy, and dispel all buffs on them. If the enemy had no buffs, this attack's cooldown is reduced by 1, and Ezra gains 75% turn meter. Ezra gains defense up for 2 turns, but the Zeta gives it plus 50% damage, plus 25% turn meter gain, and gain defense up for 2 turns. So that's an extra 50% damage in this attack. Let me tell you, in raids, specifically, I've actually used him in some Sith raid teams. I can't wait to make videos on that. He's a lot of fun. And then we're going to go watch and learn. Target ally attacks, and then Ezra assists them, dealing 20% more damage. Both attackers gain a bonus effect based on the chosen ally's roll. Attacker, 100% crit. Tank, protection up. Support, 40% turn meter gain. I have found a secret lineup that I like to use when I ran with Jedi Training Rey, where I would use his Watch and Learn with BB-8, and then that would also call in another Resistance character. Or with Admiral Akbar, you could call in like 3 characters at once. And then his push-through states this. Ezra gains 10% offense at the end of his turn. The effect can stack up to 40%. This bonus is reset when Ezra is defeated. So, in 4 turns, he's gained a 40% bonus in offense. That's why I run him with an offensive mod set. His speed could be higher, and some people like the critical damage. But let's get that offense stacking. That's the best part. So, I've stated here, I think you should have Jyn, Ezra, Chirrut, Baze. And if you're going to throw in one more character, what could go best with that? Well, let's take a look. You took out, leaving old Ben in there would not be, that's not the end of the road. That's not a bad idea. If you have Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum, she's a lot of fun to play with when you would use her ability that she can use her whirlwind ability and consume all of her buffs. Princess Leia does some good damage. Sabine is a lot of fun, but I would personally put in Lando Calrissian. I actually don't have him up to 7 stars because I've been focusing on other things. But his ability to double down and deal physical damage to all enemies if this attack scores more than 1 critical hit, its cooldown is reset, and it deals 100% more damage on its next use. The ability to use an AoE, because the only other AoE you have in this team is Jyn's AoE, which can revive somebody, and that's why a lot of people like Jyn. Jyn is a good leader. If you love the Rogue One combo team, use Jyn. Her leadership ability, Zated, which I know you have, states Rebel allies have plus 35% potency and recover 5% protection when they gain a buff. Enemies that suffer debuffs during Rebel allies' turns have a 50% chance to also become exposed for 2 turns. This exposed can't be resisted. Okay. Decent. I like the expose. I like the potency up. I like the protection gain on buffs. And then her Truncheon Strike is great against the Rancor raid. You probably know this. It states to deal physical damage to target enemy and remove all turn meter. Jyn gains that much turn meter on a critical hit, stun the target for 1 turn. And then I'm just going to look at this right here, the Rebel counterattack. Deal physical damage to all enemies and grant target other allies 100% turn meter and advantage up for 2 turns. If critical hits are scored, revive a random Rebel ally with 20% max health for each critical hit scored. Okay, that makes Jyn a very viable leader. So the team that I would run with Jyn is Lando, Jyn, Ezra, and Baze, and Chirrut, also called the Chase team. You can throw it. Maybe you want to keep old Ben in there for Lando. That's fine. I just really like the AoE. Wedge and Biggs are a great 1-2 combo. They're glass cannons. I really like your idea of having the tank and the cleanse, the synergy with Baze and Chirrut. And man, Ezra is a character that could go in every lineup. And if we were going to completely change the lineup, but keep Baze and Chirrut in there, Admiral Akbar leadership. I have a few in the top end of my arena that win with Admiral Akbar leaderships. And let me state why. Here's what his leadership states. Rebel allies have plus 25% speed and plus 10% tenacity. In addition, whenever an ally uses an ability that isn't an attack, they call a Rebel ally to assist. There's going to be a lot of assists going on there. And then we can look at he can also cleanse and then gives like health. Dispel all negative status effects from all allies. Each ally recovers 9% of their max health for each effect dispelled. This way, Admiral Akbar has a 25% chance to gain 40% turn meter. So, if you decide to go away from Jyn, an Akbar lead with an Ezra, Lando, Chase combo is great, but to better your team, or to use a Rebel team in general, because this is more than just the person that messaged me, I would say Ezra for sure goes into your lineup. Lando is my second choice, but if you want to keep Old Ben in there, I understand. Ezra is one of the best offensive players in the game. He can dispel. Great character. So, again, at the end of this video, I'm going to put the poll. Please state what level you are at. If you're free to play or pay to play, and we can start making videos on that, please keep sending the video requests. I absolutely love them. And let's get there so I can get that test account and be able to test any team you guys want. So, peace out, and may the Force be with you.